We don't even know what we're going to talk about, but here
We
we
never
are.
know, really. Hey, Giants, how's it
Look at
going?
look at that shiny forehead. It's
I,
great.
you know what? I felt like a change.
You you know what? That's probably a good thing. How
Yeah.
often do we get stuck in the same cycle? You know,
Well,
our friend Amy Bingham, we'll have to tag her in this, posted a post today. She's like, I don't think the government wants you to know this, but the ducks in the park are free. I have like 262 of them or something like
yeah, yeah,
that. Like, if you want something different in your life, you got to do something different.
yeah.
Yeah, I
You're telling
mean,
us to go take some ducks from the
no, I don't
park.
know. Yeah, don't take ducks from the park. If they follow you home, that's another story.
yeah,
Yeah. What do you do there? Invite them in. Feed
yeah.
them some duck dinner.
yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about insanity. Sometimes they attribute, I think it's to Einstein, you can't solve your problems with the same thinking that you used to create them. And doing something over and over and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity.
I wear a hat a lot.
Yeah.
So if I wanted a different result, I decided to change it today.
Yeah. Good job, man. So
Yeah.
insanity, man. Like, I don't know if those guys really said that stuff. It's like Keanu Reeves, man. That guy has said everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen a meme for everything with him.
I think Keanu Reeves said something along the lines of, I give you two commandments only: love one another and love God. Wasn't that Keanu?
It
Because
was
that's what I see floating
Jesus
around.
or Keanu, one of the two.
It's
So he
one
had a
of the two.
50-50 shot of it being right.
You can't trust the internet these days. That was said by Shakespeare.
yeah.
Yeah. So insanity, right? I have a cycle that I talk about, our history, our story. It creates our perceptions, right? These perceptions create our beliefs, and it's from those beliefs that we make choices, and it's from those choices that we create outcomes, and it's from those outcomes that we decide which ones to hang on to, which become our habits, which those habits anchor in our stories, because we then anchor them in with a story, and that becomes part of our history, which influences our perception, our beliefs, our choices, our habits, right? It's this crazy cycle. So we start out our lives. I don't know if you knew this. After development, 90% of the brain is developed after birth. That's a lot, which means that the influence of your environment can be pretty huge on your growth. And so the idea here is that when we start out with the stories that our parents give us. And then we take those stories and we start to think, well, that's probably the truth. Our parents taught us this. And then we create a perception of the world based on that. I've got the poem, The Blind Man and the Elephant. Should I read that real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Poetry Corner by Nick Smith. Good morning.
Do it.
Here we go. It was 6 men of Indostan to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. The first approached the elephant, and happening to fall against his broad and sturdy side, at once began to bawl, God bless me, but the elephant is nothing but a wall. The second, feeling of the tusk, cried, Whoa, what have we here? So very round and smooth and sharp, to me 'tis mighty clear, this wonder of an elephant is very like a spear. The third approached the animal, and happening to take the squirming trunk within his hands, I see, quoth he, the elephant is very like a snake. The fourth reached out his eager hand and felt about the knee. What most this wondrous beast is like, it's mighty plain to see. 'Tis clear enough the elephant is very like a tree. The fifth, who chanced to touch the ear, said, Even the blindest man can tell what this resembleth most. Deny the fact who can. This marvel of an elephant is very like a fan. The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope than seizing on the swinging tail that fell within his scope. I see, quoth he, the elephant is very like a rope. And so these men of Indostan disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion. exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. So often theologic wars of disputants I ween tread on in utter ignorance of what each other mean, and prayed about the elephant not one of them has seen.
I saw the picture of the six men feeling the different parts of the elephant.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see that perspective where they were all right and wrong at the same time.
Right. That perspective is a big thing. And that perspective comes from our stories. And that perspective dictates our outcomes, because we start to see the world a certain way and we start to think that's the way it is. And then we act as though that's the way it is. And it gets reinforced through our behaviors and our outcomes. And we start to see it as truth in our world. It's insane. It's insane. In a lot of cases, there's some cases where it does work for us. And so if you're going to use the insanity cycle, you want to use it in your favor. It's not a thing to get rid of necessarily. It's just a thing to understand that this is what we do. We have stories that we put into our brain. And a lot of people don't know this about memory, but every time you recall a memory, you rewrite it. The memory you have is a memory of a memory. You don't have a memory necessarily of the actual events. You have a recall of a recall of a recall. And so research has shown that when we pull that up, we rewrite it. So if you can rewrite it, why not rewrite it in a favorable manner? But that takes opening up your perspective and questioning your story. Because if your history says something and you don't question it, you blindly follow it, then you could be leading yourself down a path that will create the results that you see. No different.
The same, right?
Yeah.
Which then goes back to, okay, so how do you fix your future? Start writing your story in the future of how you want to see it. Start seeing it that way and pulling it into your present.
Okay, so along those lines, here's kind of the process. You may still have the thoughts of the old way, but you've got to take the actions on the new way and create the outcomes long enough for those to become habitual. And once they become,
you want to be something different,
you got to start being that something different. Yeah. Even with the thoughts. So you take your thoughts with you, your old thoughts with you, but you start being different now. And in being different now, you create a new history and a new perception and a new belief and a new outcome and a new habit. And that's what we need to do. It's not about thinking right, because a lot of times you got to bring that thinking along with you. It's like having a bus full of crazies and you're the driver of the bus. You're the driver. Yeah. And they get to come along because they're the passengers. And eventually some of them will jump off the bus, but some of them might be on the bus forever. Right. And so if you sit and wait for everybody to clear out of the bus before you take off and drive, you're going to be there a long
get
time.
Going, huh?
Yeah. So you really got to allow for these thoughts to be present while you change your life. And so it's not a matter of fixing your thought. I guarantee you would have a hard time changing your thoughts just by thinking about it. You will get steamrolled. You will get run over like a train. It's so powerful and so ingrained and so efficient that for you to stop it, you're going to run out of willpower at some point. And so the goal is not to stop it, but to work with it. In a Japanese culture, I think, or Chinese, or I don't know, Aikido, that martial arts style.
Google it, everybody.
Yeah, Google it. They don't try and stop things. They go with the flow and they move energy.
Yeah,
and it's very effective as far as a fighting style. But with your life, same thing. You don't want to stop things. You want to move the energy. You want to transform it and re-guide it, redirect it. Allow it to be present, allow the energy to be the energy it is, but redirect it. And that's the secret, is to create. I have pretty effed up thoughts, man. I still get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that too.
If sanity were a requirement of success, there would be a lot of really unsuccessful people right now. I look at some of our biggest change makers and I read their history and I'm like, wow, dude, how did this guy do it? Kind of gives me hope. right? Like you don't have to be sane
This
to
guy's
succeed.
nuts, he did it. Or this gal's nuts, she did it. I don't feel that nuts.
Right?
We should be good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a level of genius, genius and insanity, the insane genius, right? What was that? The mad scientist, innovative but crazy.
Yeah.
Right. There's a reason that's there.
Definitely cousins.
Yeah. I think I'm related.
Yeah.
So yeah, break out of the insanity cycle. If you have behaviors, and that's what it is, and stories that are telling you that life runs a certain way, and you have a perspective of that, open up to the question that it might be different. And then from there, take action into things that you want to have different, and be the thing that you want to be in the future now. Don't wait for it. Be it now.
Yeah. Perfect.
Awesome. Anything, should we give them an outro? We always love, we haven't done this in the past, but we want to push you towards our groups and books, and hopefully you'll support us in that as well. Do you want to hit that one, Ryan?
Yeah. So we want to make sure that you check us out. If you're not part of the tribe for whatever reason, somehow this found you, join our tribe. It's a great place. Tribe of Giants on Facebook. We've got thegiantsandthesmalls.com. You can go and check out the book. Nick wrote an amazing book. There's posters and all kinds. Look at this stuff. This is sweet. So if you want to declare it, start being something right now, what a great reminder that you're a giant. Start being a giant right now. Also YouTube. So we've got a lot of great content on YouTube. So find us on YouTube. What else am I missing, Nick? I'm sure I'm missing something.
Man, that's it. I think, our Wake Up with Giants TV. We got the tribe. We're doing a charity event right now with the Christmas Box International. And so if you want to contribute to that, you can.
Richard Paul Evans Christmas Box House. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important for us to give back. And so we've got that running. I think that's it right now. So yeah, make sure you follow us, subscribe, and keep sharing with your friends. We really appreciate each of you.
Make it a crazy, uninsane, amazing day.
Awesome. Thanks, Giants. We'll see you in the next video.
Love you too.